Hello, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm
Yes.
Cynthia Wallace Scott.
I'm Deborah Spencer.
Yes, today, Deborah,
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
we need to do part two of Dominique Cares.
Hmm.
Kind of dive a little deeper,
Okay.
maybe talk about your testimony, your experience when Dominique was just a small thing, and how your journey has been from then to now.
Okay.
Maybe the diagnosis, how she was diagnosed, what signs you picked up on, if any, or, things like that. Because there's someone out there who may be wondering. I know for a fact there's my cousin, was a little nervous at one point about her son.
Okay.
And I was like, girl, he just he just who he is. He just who he is. They're just gonna have to deal with that. But the signs and the symptoms and just the gut feelings and things of that sort that may help someone out there, know about a little bit about what to think. So help us out with that. How did this journey begin for you?
Well, this journey began very painful. Um, I have a son. My kids are 11 and a half years apart.
Mm-mm.
So we decided we wanted to have another child. And we started on that journey. We thought about adopting first. I've always wanted to adopt.
Yeah.
I still have the little tug right there, but you got to be on one accord. And my husband wanted to have our own, so we did. So I got pregnant with Dominique, and I was going to be turning 35 when I delivered.
Okay.
So they recommended an amniocentesis.
Okay.
I really wasn't in favor of that, but Spencer was like, "We need to get one, we need." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna let y'all.
Right.
So we had an amnio, and Spencer at the time was in the Navy, and when I was told to come to the office to get the results, I was went on my lunch hour thinking I was just going to find out if I was having a boy or girl.
Right.
And I go in to the geneticist. I will not mention names. And it's just me and him, and he knew I was coming alone. And he says to me that your baby is going to have webbed hands, cupped feet, cleft palate, heart, kidney, and lung problems. Very unlikely that she will be healthy and normal, and I suggest that you terminate your pregnancy.
Wow. Sheesh.
So, and he had just that deadpan, right? So I asked him, "How do you do your job? You know that I'm here alone, and I'm not expecting this,
Right?
And I said, "What do you base it on?" And he had a one sheet of paper, and he puts that down, and he says, "And it's based on this study,
this one study."
I didn't know what to do. I mean, I literally did not know what to say or do. I left there. I could not go back to the office. I called and I told him I wouldn't be coming back to the office. I went in my car and I cried, and I called my mother. I called my mother-in-law. I called Spencer, and I called a really good friend, Pilar Dunn. And I said to at least two of them, my mother and, well, three of them, maybe all four, I don't know. I just don't remember. But I said, this world is so cruel. I cannot bring a child in this world in this condition.
Yes.
So, I contemplated terminating my pregnancy.
Right, of course.
And they're like, "Nope, we're going to get through this together. It doesn't matter. No matter what, we're going to love this baby. All's going to be well." And so from there, so my girlfriend said, "You need to get a second opinion." So
Yes.
She reached out. She was used to be in the military, but she worked for the government, and she found one of the top 5 geneticists in the country.
Wow.
And their office reached out to me and told me, "Yes, we can do a second opinion." I tried to get it covered and paid through my insurance, through the HMO that I was in at the time, and they told me that they would not cover it because they needed to do the second opinion. Well, it wouldn't be a second opinion if it was not in
another
environment,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
So that would be a biased second opinion.
Exactly.
So this company, this doctor, Dr. Jones, I'll never forget him as long as I live. Their office was amazing. So they said, we need your husband to do the blood panel, your son to do the blood panel. They pulled all the records. They did the second opinion. They called me. I had to do a level 2 ultrasound. And they told me that Dominique had 10 fingers, 10 toes. Her lips were perfect. All her organs were developed, but they could not measure brain activity.
Right.
And he was just an amazing man. And he said to me, no matter what, you're going to love your baby and you're going to get through it. And I suggest that you move forward.
Wow.
And I then followed up with the office to see how much we owed, because I figured we were going to have to pay out of pocket personally, right?
Of course.
Because it wasn't covered. And they said no charge. And I just felt in my heart that God was moving. We had the level 2 ultrasound on our anniversary, March 25th. So there was just so many things that lined up for confirmation for us that we needed to move forward. So we move forward. I have a great pregnancy. Dominique is delivered. And they're amazed. Even the geneticist that gave us the information, he wanted to be our doctor, but I'm like, no, thank you. We're coming out of this HMO. And so we just kind of went on our journey. Well, she sat up late. She walked late. She started talking. Then she started regressing in speech. And my husband and my friend Pilar, PD is what we call her, they were both listening to a radio show that was giving symptoms of autism.
Wow.
On the same day at the same time. That is crazy.
Wow.
And they told me that they thought Dominique was autistic. And of course, I said no.
Yeah.
I was in complete denial.
Of course.
I said, she's just a baby. You know, we haven't had a baby in a long time. I was totally against even wanting to have the conversation.
Yeah.
But Dominique was not meeting milestones. And I was still in very much denial. So I just kind of thrusted myself in all other facets of life and just kind of, and Dominique was an easy baby to care for.
Oh.
She was real easy. And so that just kind of made it, we just kind of kept being Dominique's mom.
There you go.
You know, my husband was in the Navy at the time, so he was traveling a lot. And everybody loved her. She was easy. We just passed her along as Keith played basketball. And but it was coming to a point where I really needed to, swallow hard and do what was right for her.
Exactly.
I know some people don't subscribe to this, but I believe that there is a grieving process that goes along with what you lost.
For sure.
Because when you're having a baby or whatever your expectations are, they are what they are.
Yes.
And we never talk about the what if it isn't, what if she never goes to the prom? What if she never drives? What if she never goes to college?
Oh, yes.
So those are things. And a lot of times we see that in the facet that I'm in. I see it with men, especially when they have boys, and if they're athletes or musicians or whatever, they sometimes, vicariously we do live through our children.
Absolutely.
Whether we want to own it or not sometimes. And then you start living the harsh reality of what happens to this baby, this child, when I'm no longer
here. Yeah.
Who's going to protect? Who's going to take care? So then you get angry. I got angry with God. I went through a lot of things. I went through depression. I went through panic attacks. I went through a lot. I went through isolation. I went through living a fake facade life. I was checking in and out. And it was really, really difficult. Yeah. And I didn't know if I was going to come back. But I thank God for grace and mercy and people that never gave up on me, right, to get it together.
Yes.
And then, we went through, she wasn't diagnosed with the actual diagnosis until she was 4. So we saw a lot of symptoms because at 9 months she still wasn't sitting up.
Okay.
At 18 months she didn't walk until she was 18 months.
Okay.
So there were lots of signs, right?
Right.
Just, the no eye contact, and there were so many signs that I did not want to accept because I felt like I'm a Christian. I was married. I serve in church. I'm this, the whole laundry.
You did everything right.
I did everything right. Why would you give me a child with a disability? When I know people out there that don't care, that don't get prenatal care, that don't take, that just living like we say, living like a dog or a cat.
Right.
But God does what God does.
He does.
Because like my husband said to me, why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Because anything that happens to us, for us, and around us is not really about us.
Say it. Say it.
But that is a whole process in itself, because I had an idea in my own mind of what our family dynamics would look like and what we would do as a family.
Of course.
I'm not trying to be no caregiver.
Right.
Forever.
Forever.
Forever, ever.
Ever, ever.
Forever, ever.
Right.
I'm not trying to not be an empty nester.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not trying to be dealing with behaviors and meltdowns and having to leave groceries in the grocery store and her eloping and climbing out of windows and climbing on the roof. And I'm not trying. That's not what I want.
That's right. That's right.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
But God said differently.
He did.
And so I had to accept the life I did not want to have because this is bigger than me.
That part.
So that is how we began our journey. It was hard. It was rocky. Our marriage went through some things, not because of Dominique, but we were already in trouble. We were already, put together with a rubber band, a paper clip, and a Band-Aid. And then, and then we get this, then God restores, right? And then we go to the next realm, which is now we're going to have this next baby. And now we have this. So you wonder, like, okay, are we not living right?
What's going on? Like, Lord,
what is this?
Right.
But it's not about any of that, because God is in complete control.
Completely.
And he knows.
Yes.
Because it is about his agenda in our mind.
Period. Ain't got nothing to do with you. No. You just the vessel that he uses.
Even today, 26 years later, we are still in the process.
Yeah.
And there are hard days, and there are harder days, and there are great days. There are trying days. There are financial days. It continues, and it will continue.
It will.
But I just have to have the right mindset and to keep leaning on him and to keep saying that God will never leave me or forsake me, and I am not alone in this, and it is not solely about me. Of course, there's some things that God's going to give me. He's going to give me desires of my heart and all that sort of stuff. But along this path, I have a daughter that is on the spectrum.
Yes.
And so we have to be responsible. We have to participate in her development. We have to participate in making sure she's taken care of when we're no longer here. We have to have the tough conversations.
Yes.
And we have to do the work. Yes. It's just a part of it. And I know what God can do. And that is why I am so passionate about helping other parents, other caregivers, other individuals, helping the society at large know that we have a responsibility to not take this for granted. And guess who comes on the scene?
She heard her name. Hey, friend.
Hi, Dominique.
You want something to eat?
Okay, have a seat.
She said she wants something to eat.
Go have a seat.
Dominique say, I heard my name.
Yes. And on that note, and that's what we're talking about.
And she said she wants something to eat.
A life that is, unscripted.
Literally.
Listen, spontaneous, because that is my reality.
Absolutely.
It is.
Let me tell you something about God, honey. Listen, he say, there's somebody out there who don't really get what's happening. What they talking about? Oh, it can't be that bad.
Oh,
but it ain't all that serious.
Not all the time.
Baby, Dominique said, I'm hungry. I need some attention right now. I don't care what you doing. I don't care that you got this podcast situation. I don't care that y'all sitting up here looking all cute, got your little stuff situated. Let me give you a little real life situation right here. I've been sitting up in here. I've been good.
Why did you bring me up in
You
here?
brought me up in here knowing you had some stuff to do.
Even though she said she wanted to go.
She did. Because she loves to go. You hear me? She loves to go. Don't have her in the house all day. But literally, this is, listen, this baby, I love me some Dominique Spencer. You hear me? I love her because it is, God will never fail. You hear me? He gonna show the people what's really what. Yeah. So to wrap it up, Rip, I want you to tell our audience, what is something that you would tell parents out there that would help them through if they're going through something like this? What is one thing that you can tell them that would keep their momentum going, keep them, just pushing forward? What is something you would tell them?
One thing I would say is allow people to help. And it looks different, right? You may want it a certain way, and we have to help people help us.
Yes.
So I'm always training, explaining, developing, sharing, even in the grocery stores. Like when people see Dominique and she's had a meltdown, I immediately start explaining what is happening, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I've had to allow people to help. It may just be a phone call. Some may actually be assisting me, but I had to accept the help. And then I had to accept the people that they couldn't do it for me, right? That is a hard thing when it's not about like I was there for you, you need to be there for me. There are some people that are really not for this part of the journey.
Facts.
And it's not their fault. Yeah. And I can't hold them hostage. Yeah. I can't guilt them into feeling like they should be more.
Exactly.
We have to accept who they are and where they are, because God knows what we need.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we hold on to people and things and situations that are not a part of this journey. It's not what you need to be able to help you move the needle and move forward. Right. So you have to accept it all.
Yes. Wow.
You do.
That's good.
You do.
That's real good. Yes. Listen, we hope y'all have got some nuggets, some good nuggets out of this. We hope it helps someone.
I'm sure it always helps me. Even when it does. It really helps me. I'm more thankful and grateful because it could have been worse. So
yes, absolutely.
I'm thankful. Every time I repeat the story, every time I kind of reflect, it does help me know that I have hope. Yes. And my hope is in Him.
Amen. That's a testimony. That's what they call a testimony, okay? Listen, y'all know what a testimony is. That was it. It helps renew you. Hallelujah. Yes. All right, y'all. This has been a magnificent episode. I even feel renewed. I just listen. I can talk about Dominique Curtis all day. That's my honey. I just love it. Thank you. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for your openness. Thank you for your heart for people and it's not y'all. It's not just special needs community. It is people. You hear me? It is people. God's people. And I appreciate you so much for just loving people genuinely. Okay. All right. So we're gonna let y'all go. All right. We love y'all so much.
We do. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for allowing us to share.
Yes. All right. Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.